So let's talk about spoiler corner. First, bow.
Let's talk about this short film.
Oh my god.
We thought Pixar just cracked.
When that Chinese dumpling just went I looked to you and that was the look on your face. And I was just staring at the screen and I'm just like, I think my exact words were just, why? Why?
And we're like, but again, we're like, it's Pixar. Their shorts are usually
and then
pretty
it sprouts
solid,
legs, and then it starts running off and living its life, and I'm like, what the hell?
Well, then you make the joke. You said, wouldn't it be funny if this was all in one day? And I think it's meant to be.
and then I was joking the whole time that at any second she's just gonna be like,
that's what fucking.
And then when they fucking did it, I just sat there and that's the moment where I thought, it finally happened. Pixar's lost its mind. They just snapped and they're like, how do you like that, kids? Did you enjoy that one? Huh?
This grown woman in the audience just went, oh my god!
Yeah, no, there's this grown woman like two rows ahead of us, and just out of nowhere I just hear, oh my god! And there's like this gasp and then silence, and we're just like, well, that can't be it. There must be. And then cut to the woman crying in the bed. I hate it. Like, I'm just
we're looking at like, what you doing, Pixar? What you doing?
I thought this is just crazy. This is just
Pixar just totally cracked.
It's just like, and finally they're just like, screw you, brats. We're gonna make you cry. I'm just like.
So, but then it's revealed that she's projecting that it's her son, and the son comes home, and they make amends, and what's so funny is afterwards, your wife leaned over and said, you know, I'd actually be okay if it just ended with her eating the dumpling.
I know, I was just like,
and
that would have taken.
I don't know what I would have thought.
That would have taken real cojones.
Yeah, I mean,
but my wife has a dark sense of humor like me, so
I'm like, okay, but that would just be like growing up your kids from like 5 to 20, like in a millisecond.
I just joked.
I think most adults would be like, I don't want to see that.
I just remember turning to you, I was like, wow, Pixar's version of Princess Kaguya is really dark.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. Yeah, it had kind of that feel.
Jesus
what did you think of that short?
Well, afterwards, I was just like, brought to you by Sigmund Freud. Like,
yeah, I think I liked it.
I think I did too. I just really wanted to I wanted to eat the dumpling. One, because they're amazing.
Yeah, it looked delicious.
And
it really
two, because I'm just like, this little shit dumplings. I completely shitting on his mouth. Like, that woman's doing everything. Yeah, I know, but I'm just like, I would have eaten it. Mm-hmm. It's just like, was like, and then stumbles off. I'm like, you little piece of crap.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. It moved so quick, and it was so jarring that it really did kind of just throw everybody off. And then when you saw what they're doing, it's like, here's the gimmick, and it is emotional, and it does technically work. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, but you know what? It's like that reaction was so jarring. The first 10 minutes of Up
with dumplings.
Yeah, no, that her eating it was so jarring.
Yeah,
that I think
it really took you out of it.
It just couldn't quite get us back. Like it worked well enough. It's like, I see what you're doing.
There was the audience we saw there was shock and awe.
Yeah,
I don't think they really. Yeah, I don't think they really got over it. I didn't get over it.
Yeah,
because and that's the funny thing, because the moral of the story is still, I'm just like, well, here's your happy ending, kids. It's like, the dumpling never existed in the first place. It was all a figment of her imagination.
No,
I'm
the
like,
dumpling
yikes!
Did it was her son.
This is the Link's Awakening, or that Zelda 3 knockoff game on the Game Boy. Yikes!
It's, you know what, I'm kidding. You know how you were talking about Brad Bird movies and you were saying years later you have to look back on? For me, that's the short.
Oh, this, yeah.
I have to see years later.
Years later, I may look back and like, this is brilliant. I might just be like, wow, this is just as messed up as I remember it.
And it's very rare I say this, I get a feeling years later I'll like it more. Because that was just such a jarring holy shit moment. That definitely left an impact.
And then
I'm thinking now it's too much of an impact, but maybe years later.
My favorite is, what do they do at the end? They eat bready pastries. I was like, I wouldn't be able to eat a single dumpling, pastry, anything again. I'd just be looking at it going like, oh God.
So that was interesting. That was very, very interesting. I can't wait to see other kids' reaction to that. Because we saw this movie really early. There was like a 5 o'clock screening, which is like, I never even heard of. They're usually at 7. But so there's only a few people in the theater because a lot of people are still getting off work and everything. And not a kid. I mean, there are definitely reactions, but not a ton of kids. I just can't wait to hear kids' reaction to the scene when she eats it. I mean, and she's crying afterwards. I mean, because a parent can get it. How is a kid gonna interpret that? Because according to them, the dumpling's dead. She's just
I don't know. Kids are weird. Kids are resilient. They might find it funny. I think it's the adults who are more horrified.
Maybe
because like that was a whole metaphor about like destroying your children. I'm just like, woof.
Yeah. About letting them go or consuming them.
I feel like this. I felt like because I didn't see this as a kid, but I felt like it bothers me more as a grown-ass adult to see that than it probably ever would as a child. As a child, I think it would have gone right over my head.
It disturbs it on a different level, I think.
Yeah,
kids would probably think like the dumpling turned into a human or something like that. That'd be my guess. But so I feel like I'll grow into it, but yeah. Very, very interesting
I just
experience.
Right afterwards, like I just wanted to say like I just want a title card just to be like The End, The Incredibles. There's something like this is all one big joke. Like,
you know what part of it is though? Those shorts are always so good and they're very well done, but they are comfort food. They'll always make you feel a little bad, but then so warm at the end.
I didn't feel warm at all.
Yeah, I felt like
abused.
A punch. I mean, this was just such a punch.
No,
and I gotta give them credit for going out of their comfort zone. They're
that's
gonna
fine.
Make that leap.
You want the warm and fuzzy thing? Like, give me the Looney Tunes cartoon with the dog who thinks the cat has been baked.
Yeah.
You know, and
Feed
then
the
at
kitty.
the end, it's feed the kitty. And like that made me feel warm and fuzzy inside the end. I didn't feel warm and fuzzy inside the end. Because then I'm just like, wow, what an awful, like, if she's been having that dream and this is representative of what's been going on in her life, like, so she's like, this could have been years of them being estranged and miserable.
Probably
and
not because the fiance.
Maybe the fiance's it, but I was like, what kind of fight did they have? It was a real interpersonal dynamic. I'm just like, this just was uncomfortable. Like, I'm just like, wow, what sort of fight did they have? Like, this is depressing still. Even after the happy ending, I still was kind of depressed. Like,
you know, maybe that's it. Maybe
because I'm just like, wow, it's sad that it came to that she had to have a dream about eating her own children, and then he comes back, he's like, all right, let's.
You know what?
Let's make up. Like,
if it had more time, which I understand why they could. It's a short. If they had more time at the end to work on them connecting,
but in such short,
it would have justified it. But it was so
brutal.
Yeah, to work that as quickly as you do after
I'm not saying I hated it. Like, I kind of like that brutality, but it's definitely
I like
not
it.
like
Maybe you have that reaction.
But I felt like that wasn't. I felt like the intention was to make us feel warm and fuzzy at the end. I was like, I don't think that's what you pulled off.
We were still getting over.
I kind of respect it more for being brutal.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was that horrific detour. After we were told by, we know your patience and you've been waiting, and so here's goddamn movie, and then they show us this short where they rip our hearts out.
So here's Olaf's grand adventure.
Oh my god!
That'd be amazing if they went into that like a 20-minute short.
God, don't even.
So the big thing is that, again, minute you see this damn woman, it's like villain. You know, the sister, she's always in the shadows. Her eyes are half open. She's easing up with Elastigirl, like, right. Well, that's going to be the betrayal.
I'll give him this much. It took me 5 minutes, maybe, just because at first I was like, he's the villain, and then I'm like, oh no, wait, they're making him way too obviously look like the villain because he's super nice. She's the villain. Like, it just was.
Well, the fact that Bob Odenkirk play him. I mean, he is essentially just playing himself. I mean, he's playing Saul.
It took all of 5 minutes where you're like, villain, and then the most insulting thing is good. Yeah, is when she literally looks at Elastigirl and says, "You're good." I'm like, really? Because we figured it out 5 minutes in.
Every freaking person figured this out.
Yeah, like, I hate that, like, when they throw a line in like that, because you're just like, well, if we were all 9 steps ahead, why wasn't she?
Well, and here's the thing. Yeah, you're right. They're crime fighters. They should, and I guess I shouldn't be too harsh because it's still technically a kids film, a family film, and stuff like that. But I'm with you. It's like, how long have they been doing this? I mean, they've been out of the game for a while, but they're clearly back in it. And you know, the one thing that a lot of these movies do, sometimes it works, but now this is kind of turning into a trope, is to make it look like it's not them. They'll have somebody else pretending to be the person, like, you know, she hypnotizes another guy as pizza delivery boy.
But you know, like,
and it shows them watching.
To be a red herring because it's like, oh, it shows them watching, but I'm like, she can hypnotize anybody.
No, that's one of the things where it's
they've already told you how she did it.
That's being turned into kind of an obvious trope now, where they have another person to try and trick you, but that's being done so many times in other movies and now, where it's like, you know,
he's like, oh, what am I doing here? Oh, he just delivers pizzas. Like, I'm just like, well, put it together, Elastigirl. Come on.
Yeah.
And then when she does, it's like this big reveal. It's like, well, then if it couldn't be her, I was like, oh my god! And I'm just like,
the eye, you're good.
Yeah,
which I'm with you. There was something. I mean, it's not much. It's just these corny little glasses, but there is something legit creepy.
It was creeping the kids out. That's when the kids started freaking out in our show,
crying and stuff.
And
like
that scene, I'm just like, there was something about that when he
is
not Frozen, but basically when Violet and was it Jack? Is he the second oldest? Or is Jack? Dash, yeah. It's when Dash opens the door and all of them with the glasses on are staring down at him. I'm like, man, if I were an 8-year-old or if I were like a 5-year-old watching this movie, like that, I would have just been like out, done. There was something really creepy about that. I'm like, man, this is like a worst nightmare.
But again, one of the reasons that works, you feel that kid's age. You feel all their ages. I mean, he looks genuinely afraid.
Oh no, he's terrified.
And with the real kid voice coming out, it's like,
because he's so full of confidence and the way they animated him. I'm just like that was what I'm like. Yeah, now it's Home Alone for reals, boy.
Yeah, and the way they talk to each other, they all feel exactly their age. So when there is a threat, you feel that threat.
I like that
to
scene.
a point
it's legit creepy. I'm just like, yeah, if I were a little kid watching this movie, that scene would scare the hell out of me.
To a point where it's like there's a scene where it's like, you know, whatever, Violet's fighting one of the villains and stuff like that, and the villain punches her.
I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah,
I was like, you can't do that. She's like some 12-year-old girl, you bitch.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, it's a damn superheroes movie. That's what we're here
it's like she can take a few punches, but yeah, I was just like, wow, like.
There's even something kind of weird when you see like Elastigirl with like a hard drink, like a Manhattan or something like that. I'm like, this is kind of odd. It's like, I've seen drinking in other movies. I've seen Dumbo get fucking drunk. But there is something really weird about just seeing like the main character just kind of swirling a drink around like a hard, heavy drink.
Oh, come on. Mommy doesn't get drunk. She just has fun.
So, yeah. And I think that's kind of what led to the third act. It's still good, but it's stopping a ship. It's not they're fighting her. I mean, Elastigirl goes up there to fight her. And she's a little menacing there. I like when she's like, oh, you're getting lightheaded. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's fun to die now. It's like, that was a little menacing, but everything else felt...
I didn't have a problem with the climax. My only problem is just that the villain, it was very obvious, and okay, so now let's talk about the motivation. Zero sense. Zero. It is like the most batshit crazy like, it's literally like, well, my brother wanted to bring superheroes back, so I helped him this whole time. With the intent purpose of finally destroying you all once and for all by making the world hate I'm like, superheroes were already illegal. So you were fine, and they were already hauling their asses off to. You could have just told your
Stop
brother,
your brother, yeah.
get lost. I'm not doing this. Like,
Hell, they're arrested in the beginning. They're gonna go back into hiding.
In the beginning, and she and the brother bail them out, and I'm just like, what? Like,
if you're gonna kill
what?
if you're gonna kill all these people anyway, just kill your brother.
Yeah.
I mean, this is ridiculous.
She doesn't really seem to give a crap. It's like, he's a child. I'm like, all right, well, why don't you just, like, stop him for it? I don't know. It made
and there's sort of
no
this long,
sense.
complicated conversation between, like, her and Elastigirl and stuff like that. That's,
That
like,
was
I guess, trying to justify it. But it just feels like you're trying to.
Are you talking about where she's all frozen? Like, are you talking about earlier?
No, I'm talking about earlier.
Earlier, yeah,
where it seems like they're trying to justify what's gonna happen.
Literally, the lights are flashing over her forehead. Villain, like,
Yeah,
so, I hate it. Like,
but I felt like in the third act, I mean, just wouldn't it be cooler? It's like, it's a sequel. It's the incredible sequel. And it's like, in the first film, yeah, Syndrome's taken out pretty quick, but you're fighting these henchmen for a good chunk of time, and then you're fighting this giant monster, this giant robotic monster, who, granted, it's a machine, but it's like, it's still menacing, and there's nothing menacing to go up against in this third act. I think that's what bothered me. I think I wanted the ante up a bit. And you didn't really get it.
The menace is they're gonna crash.
Yeah, well, but that's not. I want that really up. That's not as menacing as the machine in the first film.
I didn't have
would have liked something else there. But it comes back to her because she's on the jet. Her motivation's not that great. And yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, Syndrome surprisingly was a fun villain.
Oh yeah, I love Syndrome.
And that's just the stupidest reason to be a villain, but they surprisingly made it work, and he was funny, and he was also intimidating, while also kind of pathetic. Like, he worked weirdly on so many levels, and this one is just, they're trying to make more serious, and surprisingly, it made it almost more funny. Like, because
the superheroes didn't save my dad, and he believed in him, and therefore I'm going to...
that backstory is weirdly, because it's like, okay, we have to justify why she's doing it.
My favorite was I was laughing when
out of nowhere scene.
I was laughing when I first saw that scene. It was like, guess he didn't believe in a panic room. And then later it reveals we had a panic room. He didn't want to go to it. I'm like, oh my god, this is it just felt, I'm like,
it was overly complicated.
It was like, this is just dumb. Who doesn't go to a panic room even if you got, why didn't you put the fucking phones in the panic room?
Yeah,
because he believed in superheroes. Like, it just was it was like strangely bad writing.
Honestly, every problem I have in this movie is centered around her, the more I think about it. It's centered around that character. And like I said, it's not god-awful, like, it doesn't distract too much, but it's like, man, this would have just been, like,
a missed opportunity.
Everything would have been a hit if that one element.
It's a very missed opportunity, because for most of the film, you know, the kids come in to kind of save the day at the end, which I thought was super cool when they had that.
Yeah, I like
when
that
they came in to save the day, like, and we're driving the car and everything, I'm like... And once again, I think of, like, if I were a kid, I would have loved this.
Yeah, you feel like the kids are going in to save the... And it doesn't feel cheap. It feels earned. Yeah. It really feels like it worked up to this.
But for the most part, it's a missed opportunity with the villain, because for the most part, it's Elastigirl versus this other woman. I'm like, you've got two females kind of duking it out, and I'm like, well, this is cool. This should be really... And it just... The villain just isn't
really
worth
that.
it.
She's just flying up. She has no superpowers.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, if there was a motivation there, it would have been interesting. But I'm like, you blew an opportunity to have, like, a female supervillain fight a female, like, villain, or I mean, a female superhero fight a female villain, like, and make it really interesting. And it really wasn't, because the motivation sucked.
You have to have a good motivation, or you have to give her something cool she can do. You know, she had, like, a robot or a machine or some sort of cool suit or something like that, but she just flies the jet up and makes her lose oxygen, you know, and it's like, that's just...
There wasn't even, like, I feel like for a tech expert, it just came down to, like, I'm going to shut the oxygen off. Like, I mean, you're right. Like, they could have done more.
Well, it wasn't shutting the oxygen off, it was going up. She was wearing a mask, but...
but I mean, it just... I don't know. I felt like that was a missed opportunity. It's like, if you ask me what the weakest thing in this film is, it's definitely the villain.
I'd say the only weak thing, honestly, because everything else I thought just direct bullseyes.
Yeah, no, I can't. Oh, God. The return of Edna.
Yeah.
I love Edna.
If you're to just tell me it's like, and Edna gets to design a baby suit, it's like, who cares? But it's great.
Yeah, I know. I would have been like, who gives a fuck? But then when they did it, I'm just like, oh my God, the laughs. and then the raccoon, and then the spit take with
the nose.
Out of the nose.
Yeah, that was the scene where it's like she's drinking the water, and just the look. It's only for a split second, but the look on her face as she's shooting the water out her nose is. It really like I had to really control myself, and I had to just think of something else because just thinking about it was cracking me up. Man, were there some funny scenes in this movie? I don't know. I feel like between this and Deadpool 2, I see a lot of good comedies. Like, there's a lot of good comedies out there, but it's, like, so rare that I see something so funny, I have to, like, control myself.
They both
to
go
keep
for
the
broke.
laughter under control.
I do like how, in our review for Deadpool 2, we were joking about how, like, well, they'd never make a Deadpool movie where he has to take care of a baby, but watching this movie, I'm like, you could totally do it, and I think it would be dark as fucking hilarious.
Yeah, now it's
because,
kind of
looking at this movie, I'm just like, oh, you totally could have had Deadpool taking care of his own, like, you imagine flinging that baby around.
I'd actually love to see Deadpool as a father, yeah.
I would pay $1,000 to see it, just because, like, can you imagine, like, shootouts with the baby involved, and, like...
the baby gets older, turns into like son or daughter or something like that.
So dark and so hilarious.
A ton of fun.
Yeah, bullets flying everywhere.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else in terms of spoilers. I mean, that's kind of the biggie.
No, I just think, just story-wise, just as a basic story, I think that was one of my problems, was it's just like, I thought that was the whole point of the first one. We're going to make heroes kind of legal again. Like, oh, your reputations are good now. And instead they Ghostbusters 2 it, where it's just like, no, everybody still hates us. I'm like...
No, it's so weird. Because that's what I thought I was going to feel, and I didn't. I never thought of Ghostbusters 2. And I thought I was going to.
I feel like the characters are strong enough that the whole thing works. But on a simple story level... I feel we've kind of gone nowhere when it comes to kind of like the environments, because like, wow, we still just, okay, like, still gotta make villains like that. I'm like almost gonna like, are they gonna do a third one now where it's like, we're still not fully loved. Guess we gotta like...
You know, what's funny is that the end credits, I've seen the end credits of The Incredibles a lot because they're some of the best end credits ever. And they recreate like the first maybe 20 seconds exactly the same. Like it's the exact same shots, the exact same punches, and it cuts the same people, written and directed by Brad Bird, so we can literally use the exact same credits at first. And then it goes into different stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, this... You really should make this a series. You should make this an ongoing series. I think they should grow up.
I do too,
definitely.
And I think
I think this was fine, and this was
I think wonderful. They should come out faster, because at the end of this, I swear to God, it was almost going to say The Incredibles will return in 2036.
And I want another one. I mean,
I do too.
Films are so good. It's like they really do leave you wanting more, and I don't want to wait for them. I want another one to come.
But viewer, thank you for your patience.
Just get to the damn movie. That's I can't think of anything else. Just creepy ass opening short and weak villains about it. Like I said, you've already seen it if you're watching this. So that's about it. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. I can't wait for a third one. Get a third one going. Just start now. Do it now. I can't wait. Not 14 more years. Bye.